Why do some people sleep with hair rollers? Let's figure out the answer to that question. We're going to practice our multiplying decimals and we're going to find each answer mentally. So these ones are definitely easier problems that you can do in your head. You won't be able to do all of them, all decimals, but these ones you can. Let's see, we're going to find the answer here and we're going to find our answers below. Let's go ahead and just do a couple from each quadrant. Let's do T. T, 0.5 times 0.7. I'm going to ignore my decimals for now and just do 5 times 7. 5 times 7 is 35. How many places do I move my decimal? 1, 2. So here's my imaginary decimal. 1, 2. My final answer is 0 and 35 hundredths, or 0.35. So T, let's see, goes right here. I'm going to put a T right there. And down below, T goes with number 30, right there. Let's go ahead and do problem E. See, 0.09 times 0.4. Let's see, well, I'm going to ignore the decimals. I'm going to do 9 times 4 is 36. How many places do I move my decimal? 1, 2, 3. Here's my invisible decimal. 1, 2, 3. I have to put a 0 placeholder there. So my final answer is 0.036. And that is, number 16. 16 is E. So let's drop an E down in box 16. Let's go ahead and go over to quadrant number 2. Let's do H. Let's see, 6 times 0.5. Well, I could also think of this, 0.5 is the same thing as half, right? So what's half of 6? Half of 6 is 3. I don't really have to do my decimals with that one. Yay! That is 3 right there. That's H. So let's drop an H in box 31. Let's go down to quadrant 3. Oh goodness, let's see, which one shall we do? How about U? 0.6 times 70. Well, let's see. I'm going to ignore my decimal and just do 6 times 70. 6 times 7 is 42. So that means 6 times 7D is 420, right? Because I have 6 groups of 7D. Now I'm going to put my decimal back in there. How many places do I move my decimal? 1. So here's my invisible decimal, and I move it back. 1. So I go back to 42. Let's see, 42 is number 22. That's U. 42 is 22. Let's see, let's drop a U in box 22. And let's do one from our 4th quadrant. Let's see, let's do W and M, because they look very similar, but I think they're going to give us different answers. W, 0.5 times 0.5, half times a half. What is half of a half? Well, if you're thinking of half of a half, if I have a half of a candy bar and I have half of that, that would be a fourth. And I know a fourth is 0.25. Or if I just do it as a decimal, I'm going to ignore my decimal. 5 times 5 is 25. And how many places do I move my decimal over? 1, 2, 1, 2. Which gives me 0.25. So 2 different ways of thinking of that answer. Let's see, 0.25. I have lots of 2 5s here. I have to be careful that I get my decimal right. 13 is W. So I'll drop W in box 13. All right, let's do this one. 5 times 0.05. This means I'm taking a very, very small amount, much less than a half of a half. So if I have half a candy bar and I'm taking 5/100ths of it, I'm taking a very small bite. So this is going to be definitely smaller than our previous answer. Well, see, 5 times 5 is 25. How many places do I move my decimal over? 1, 2, 3. Invisible decimal. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, my final answer is 0.025. which is definitely a very small bite of my pretend candy bar. And that would be right here, 34. So let's drop, what was that, M for 34? There we go. So as you can see with mental math, I am actually writing some things out, so don't be afraid to write some things out when you're doing mental math. It's just we're not having to do all of our long, like traditional method, multiplication, with all of that stuff. You can do it much quicker, but you can still write stuff out. It helps your brain to go faster. So mental math, you are doing work in your head, but you still can write stuff out.